It's Coach's Corner on Sunday night, October 7th. This is our very first one, and we're in our 9th week of the season. This week is Pink Out Week, so please wear your pink to practice on your main practice, not your tumbling or your stunting. Regular practice schedules this week, nothing has changed, no adjustments, and practices will be available to be viewed through the waiting room windows this week. Starting next week until November 5th, our practices will be closed to viewing for our prep teams to be working on choreography and for our elite teams to be preparing for competition on November 10th. We close practices so that our athletes can focus on the floor and off the floor as well. I Am the Phoenix meetings are this weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can schedule your time with Coach Aubrey. If you choose not to schedule a conference time, you must sign a waiver that states that you do not want to have a conference. Coach Aubrey will be walking around during practices to make sure that everybody has either scheduled or signed the waiver. The conferences are 15 minutes long, and in those 15 minutes, we'll be talking with you about your athletes' progress individually and on their team. Flippin' Fridays, if you didn't see last week, we've made some adjustments to our add-on classes this season. We're actually going to be offering a Tuesday tiny tumbling for ages 3 to 6. This is great for our Sparks and for our Dragonfires, and frankly for anybody, even if they're not a part of the gym, ages 3 to 6. This is a $10 class and it's 45 minutes long. They'll be working on basic tumbling skills in level 1. Our Friday classes will have now level 1s, level 2 beginner, level 2.5, and level 3 plus. Those classes are $15. Coach Aubrey actually has a list of all the athletes and what levels they should be placed in. If you have questions regarding your athlete's specific class, please email, but Coach Aubrey does have a list in case you have that question. These classes are awesome for anybody to be working on their individual tumbling skills and to be working on their technique for the skills that their teams are going to be using. We also on Friday nights are going to be offering a stunt class from 7:30 to 8:15. This is a $10 class, and you can sign up ahead of time with Coach Aubrey just like our tumbling classes, and is awesome for anybody in our ice stream, crossfire, crystallize, rampage, and insurgents. Our next spirit wear order is going to be due on Tuesday, October 9th, and you can pay in either cash or check. No credit card or debit card purchases for this one. This order is the only one that is guaranteed to come back before November 10th, the first competition for our elite teams, but this is not the only spirit wear order that we'll be doing. So if you don't want to order a jacket right now, but you know that you want one later on, there will be other order opportunities. There will be order opportunities that also come in before Christmas or will be guaranteed before Christmas in case you want to do any Christmas gifts. Jackets are available in this order though. We do have a youth large at the gym that you guys are able to try on ahead of time. That way you have an idea of sizing. There are no returns for sizing on spirit wear. Our recommendations, if something doesn't come back to size, then I would recommend putting it on the buy sell page and seeing if anybody in the gym does want to purchase or does need that size. There are optional items this season. The optional items are anything that are not a uniform, cheer bow for a competition, or cheer shoes. We don't even specify which brand of shoe you need to purchase, but our girls do need to have white cheer shoes, and our boys are allowed to have black and white cheer shoes. We did not make jackets, bags, practice wear, ponies, or spirit wear mandatory this season. This is our rebranding transition season. So our prep team stayed Fire and Ice, and our elite teams went Uprising Cheer Elite. But that does not mean that you can't use some of the stuff that you had last year. Your jackets are still good. Your Fire and Ice jackets are still fine, especially if you're still a Fire and Ice team. That's definitely not a problem. As a reminder, we're going to remind you constantly when tuition payments are due. Tuition payments for November are due on October 25th. When your payment is on October 25th, you will need to make a payment arrangement if you cannot make that payment by October 25th. If you do need to make an arrangement, it needs to be prior to October 25th for it to be approved. Late fees will be added after the first of the month, and if no tuition payment is made by the November 1st and no payment arrangement has been made prior to October 25th, your athlete is required to be at practice but will have to sit out until the payment is made. Please, please, please communicate with us. We have always been willing to help everybody, but you must talk to us before the due date so that we can plan. Our first installment of competition fees are due on November 1st. You can find this on the competition schedule. You can find this on the handbook. It tells you when your fees are due. If you have questions regarding specifically what your fees are, please send an email or talk to Coach Aubrey in the office. Payments for competition fees need to be on time. If you have questions or concerns, you need to talk to us before November 1st. What'll happen is if you don't make your payment on time, there is no guarantee that your team is going to be able to register for competition, not the athlete, that the team won't be able to register for competition, or that competition fees for your team will have to go up because we have to pay late while we're waiting for a fee from a parent who has not made it yet. This is really, really important this season because we're not doing it the same way that we have in seasons past. In seasons past, we've paid competition by competition and had to hunt down payments as competition came. That's not how we're doing it this year. We're registering early so we can, one, give you the lowest prices, and two, guarantee that we can register for the competitions that we need. Speaking of registering with USASF is definitely past due. We're going to be checking the rosters through USASF on October 12th. If you do not know how to register with USASF, please speak to Miss Tanya as soon as possible. And another thing, we definitely do know that all these payments seem to come all at the same time. Competition fees, tuition, USASF, spiritwear, uniforms, everything comes at the same time at the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about the payments, but we do offer the option to have fundraising. So if there's fundraising that you want to do it. I would definitely encourage as much fundraising as possible, and this month is the month to do it. October is the perfect time to do it. And if you know that you have another competition fee due on February 1st, then make sure you're planning for, well, holidays are in December. I know I need to fundraise in January. Plan ahead for those payments that you know are coming, especially when they are all at the same time as tuition or at the same time as wanting to purchase spiritwear, that type of thing. If you have any questions about payments, again, please talk to us before the due date so that we can help if we can. Moving on, choreography. Yes, choreography is one of my favorite times of the season because we get to see what the kids have been working on for so long, put together to music, routine, to counts, to timing, and working together in base teams, in formations. It's awesome, it's exciting, and I can't wait. But as you see and hear about choreography, please know stunts are going to fall. Timing's going to look like a mess. We're going to look like we're falling apart for a period of time, but it does all come together. Coach Caleb and I will be doing actually an informative video for you guys in the next week, and it's going to go over choreography and how it correlates to the score sheet, because the score sheets are different for novice teams, for prep teams, for elite teams, different age groups, different divisions. They all have different things, and we want you guys to understand why and how we create our choreography, that it's not just like, oh, we're going to put so-and-so in the front because it's so-and-so. That doesn't quite work like that. So we want to make sure that we get to talk to you guys about it so that way you can ask questions and you guys can be informed before we go to competition. So you can understand why we put all those stunts in, or why we have to have 12 people out of 15 be able to do this stunt or be able to do this tumbling. That's why. So please be on the lookout for that. We're going to be playing that in the waiting room, which I'm really excited about. This week's going to be great. All of our practices have been going well so far. Our kids are exactly where we need them to be, and actually some of them are even higher and further along than we ever thought they could be. This is the first season that we've competed before Christmas break. Usually we don't compete until January, and we're actually going to have 2 teams going out on November 10th. Now, their routine's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be what they're putting on the floor in April, but it's definitely going to be great to get in front of the judges this early, to be able to give our elite teams the opportunity to hear what they have to say, get feedback, see what we need to fix, and get a feel for their routine on the floor in front of a crowd. Our prep team is starting to compete in January. They're going to be doing choreography this month and next month and into December. They'll be ready for our showcase, and that's great. They're going to have their whole routines. They're going to be ready. But again, the routines that you see now aren't necessarily the ones that you're going to see them perform in February, March, and April. We make changes, we make things more difficult, and we do what we need to for the team to get better. Just want to say thank you to all of the extremely positive and energetic parents that we have this season. It is amazing to be able to look into the waiting room and to be able to see your kids and to see you guys with so much positivity happening. There are great things happening on the floor, and I cannot wait for you guys to see these guys perform at competitions. October can be a tough month. That's why actually we have Spirit Month, because it gives the kids something outside of learning choreography that's fun for them with their team. It's hard to come to practice and spend 30 minutes going over your jump section because you're not standing in the right spot and you're kicking your neighbor for the 45th time. It's not fun to do that, but it's necessary and it's a part of the sport, but it's incredibly worth it when you see those routines come together, when you settle down in your school schedule, your academic schedule, your sports schedule, your family schedule, your social schedule, when everything finally comes down come November, December, and we get into January and it's full-fledged competition season and you get to have fun out on the floor with your teammates and with those families sitting in the stands cheering everybody on. It is completely worth it. So thank you, parents, and thank your kids for being such amazing athletes and for being such wonderful, positive influences on each other. This is a very unique sport. We've been a part of football and baseball and soccer. We've done it all. And cheer in itself is always different. Maybe because I have a passion for it, but cheer to me has always been different. You are a part of something that's bigger than you. It lasts an entire year almost with one team, one set of families, one set of parents, one set of kids that you're with from what ends up being August all the way until May. But let me tell you, when those kids start out in August and the way that they finish in April, it's amazing to see their accomplishments and to see the friendships that they've gained, not only from athlete to athlete, but families and parents. Give it the time. Take on the craziness that is the cheer world, because it's fun, it's engaging, it's energetic, and it's awesome. So thank you guys. I will talk to you again in Coach's Corner next Sunday, and I will be bringing new things to you and more information, and I'm sure more reminders. But thank you for pushing through my what's now probably 13-minute dialogue with you all. But I appreciate you all very much, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye, guys. Have a good